My first event was a wedding after not being a DJ, literally thrown to the fire just to just do the right thing for these people and for, my brother's, reputation. Um, it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. To this day, probably one of the most stressful days, of my life. Like now at that time, at the age I thought of myself as a kid, but I was a younger, adult. Like I understood what needed to be done. So I just did what I could do, and that was it, man. So that was like the roots of DJ Rachel, but it
Wow.
wasn't it wasn't meant to be. Like I didn't want to be a DJ, but here we are.
What's going on, DJ family? DJ Reese here. Every Monday at 9 a.m., I'm dropping a new podcast episode where I'm highlighting some of the dopest DJs out there that are creating vibes at all the venues that they're DJing at. If you want to hear these stories, level up in your DJing. If you're a new beginner DJ, you need new tips. You want to hear the inspiration from the DJs who started out new that are taking their DJing game to the next level. Well, you got to check out WeCreateTheVibes.com. Every Monday, 9 a.m. New stories, new episodes from the dopest DJs out there killing it in the game right now. Hosted by DJ Reese. Again, check out WeCreateTheVibes.com. DJ family, DJ community, welcome to another episode of We Create the Vibes podcast. This is a podcast highlighting dope DJs who are out there creating vibes everywhere they go. And today we have a special guest. She goes by the name of DJ Rachel Lynch. How's everything going?
Hey man, honored to be here. So nice to meet you. I'm awesome. Just coming off of wedding season, so enjoying a little break. So glad we were able to connect and do this.
Oh, absolutely. No, thank you. No, I appreciate you. And I see you out there killing it online. Just doing amazing things. I watch you every day. Like literally, I'm watching what you're doing. I'm loving it. I mean, you're doing it all.
Thank you, man. Working hard behind the scenes. This is definitely team no sleep right here.
Oh,
Hence why I'm in
absolutely.
my car because I have to run somewhere after we do this. Like I'm always on the move. So
Yes, on the go, on the move. So talk to me about your DJ journey. How did it start? I mean, tell me about your musical influences. How did you get involved in the DJ industry?
dude, it's a wild story. It's wild. I am probably one of the most unconventional. I have one of the most unconventional startups out of anybody. So
Oh, we're
check
here
this
for the
out.
story. We're here for it.
So I've been doing this about 18 years now, but I'm going to say as a legitimate business, about 10. Before I just kind of, dabbling here and there, but about 10 years I've been doing kind of what you see on the day to day online and stuff like that. So, um, back in, God, this is probably almost 15, 20 years ago, my brother, who's a DJ,
Okay. What's
one
his DJ
morning,
name by the name?
so it was just DJ Bry. His
Okay.
name is Brian. He has a family now. He's kind of moved on to other things. So little sister has kind of fallen into the footsteps. But like I said, this is
Nice.
a wild story. So I actually never wanted to be a DJ, believe it or not. It was
Hmm.
never written in the cards. It's never something I aspired to be. But obviously being around my brother who did it, it was kind of his first job, so to speak. He worked for a multi-op, so he just would pick up events here and there. And of course, me being around him, little sister wanting to, dig in his Fire CD collection,
Okay.
right? And just play with things. I kind of picked up little things here and there, but it was never the vision of mine. So anyway, one morning we hear a really loud crash in our upstairs of our house, and my family and I run upstairs, and we find my brother unconscious on the floor, and he had fallen into his closet doors, which is what the loud crash we heard was. Um, we obviously had no idea what was going on. So just to kind of quell everybody's anxiety, he lived. We found out he was an undiagnosed type 1 diabetic.
Wow.
But we never suspected it because he was like 20, 22 years old at the time, so it's just kind of weird. So any which way, we obviously call for ambulatory services. He's whisked off to the ICU because at the time we had no idea if he was dead or alive. Like we didn't realize it was a diabetic coma. But he was actually getting ready for a wedding that day. Now, I was only, I don't know, 15 or 16 at the time. I even had my learner's permit. Like I wasn't even able legally able to drive,
Okay.
at the time. And we're also talking about a time where, again, CD collections, these big bulky case logic cases, and you had, the
Yep.
catalog with the binder to flip through to tell you
Yep.
what was on what CD. It wasn't like, Beat
Absolutely.
Source, so you just type it in and boom, there you got it. Um, and he also had a really heavy passive Bose system, so things
Uh,
weren't even powered. So the amps like weighed more than I did, at the time. It wasn't as easy as we got it today.
Now, yeah.
So any which way, I kind of looked at my dad and I said, Dad, he's supposed to be at a wedding. These people have no idea what's going on. And this is actually during a time where even like text messaging was a little cumbersome. Like we had texting then, but it was like, I don't know, 10 cents a text, and it wasn't what we know now. So
Yeah.
it wasn't really easy to get a hold of people. I had MapQuest directions, like it was
Yeah, I
before,
remember.
Google Maps and stuff. Dude, I'm telling you, we're old school. We're taking it back here.
Absolutely.
So I said to my dad, I was like, look, let's finish packing the car. Um, let's go to these people's houses and at least tell them what's going on, right? They at least deserve to know what happened to my brother, even just out of respect for, his name, that he wouldn't just take their money and flake out. Like I at least understood the gravity of that. So we took the MapQuest directions. My dad helped me finish packing up the car. We drive to the spot, and we see everybody there, and they're like, who is this little girl and who is this like weird old man? like who are
It's
these
not our
people?
DJ. It's not who we
this is
pay.
this this is not our DJ, dude. Where's my car? They had no idea what was going on. So my father and I explained to them, what had happened, and that we really didn't have a lot of information. For all we know, he could be dead right now, but we just wanted to come and do the right thing to let them know, what was up. And I told him, I was like, listen, I'm not a DJ, but I definitely know enough to like hit play. I know what a volume fader is. I have tinkered around his CD collection. Like I know how to find what songs you may want. So I'd be more than willing to do what I can for you today. I'm assuming I would be better than nothing. It's either that or put on a radio, and I don't know, a popular radio station on here, Star 99.9, like put on FM radio, or have nothing. So they go, yeah, I mean, if there's no other choice, whatever you can do, please do it. So my dad and I showed up really extra early, again, because we had no idea how to hook any of this crap up. And it pretty much was trial and error. It was like, okay, if this is a round hole and we see a round thing, you stick it in. And do
Get that
you have
right.
sound? If you don't, put it in the next hole. And if you don't, and we just kept sticking things in holes and connectors and
Oh, it sounds
plugging
like
it to
my first
power,
day.
until stuff actually worked. And we figured it out. So my first event was a wedding, after not being a DJ, literally thrown to the fire just to just do the right thing for these people and for, my brother's, reputation. Um, it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. To this day, probably one of the most stressful days, of my life. Like now, at that time, at the age, I thought of myself as a kid, but I was a younger, adult. Like I understood what needed to be done. So I just did what I could do, and that was it, man. So that was like the roots of DJ Rachel, but it
Wow.
wasn't it wasn't meant to be. Like I didn't want to be a DJ, but here we are, like almost 20 years later, doing some pretty awesome things. So
That's crazy. Thrown right into it. And yeah, like you said, 20 years later, out here still killing it, killing the game. I love that. Now talk to me
yeah, it's wild.
yes. Now talk to me the moment you realized you can turn this into a career. Like what was that moment? What was that event? Maybe even someone coming up to you and telling you like, yo, you really did an amazing job. What was that moment where you realized like this can be my future right here?
So there's two things I have to address here. So I think I still need to kind of talk about the natural progression, how I went from like all chaos pandemonium of like brother in the hospital doing a
Uh,
wedding and I shouldn't have been doing a wedding, to how I got here.
let's talk
So
about it.
So after that, I realized I had a little bit more natural talent than I had thought. And, everyone talks about their musical upbringing. I know I was a band geek. I did marching band and concert band. I did tap dancing. I took piano
Mm.
for about 10 years. So, like, I got music. So, counting, music structure, phrasing, it was like ingrained in me since like a little kid. So, that was always very natural for me. But, so what happened was, so obviously my brother being 21, 22 at the time, obviously he made a full recovery. So now little sister wanted to kind of hit up the club and bar scene.
Okay.
So I would go as the assistant, and honestly it wasn't about the partying or drinking, like that had nothing to do with it. I just wanted to be around the music, the energy, the vibe. I wanted to be around him, you know what I mean, just as my brother and stuff. So I obviously was getting into some of these pretty dope places, as a person who shouldn't have really been there. And what happened was he'd go out for like a cigarette or something, be like, hey, you see this song and this song, you see how this is 104 BPM, 104 BPM. When this says 30 seconds, I want you to hit that button. He goes, I'll be back before the other song ends. So I was getting like these little mini micro lessons.
Okay.
And then like watching him, what he did, how it affected the people, and that's how reading the crowd came, and just it was just like this really natural organic progression. um so then as he started getting events and he realized I learned a little bit more, he had extra gear and stuff, so he would pass me work if he was double booked or
Mm.
something. So then I started doing my own actual events. Now the crazy thing is, instead of them calling me back or him back, they were calling me back. So then that word of mouth thing started to happen. So then I started, hey, we saw you at this birthday party, you want to do this? And then so like I just built this business that like I never even tried to. It just happened so organically, man. But I also want to say a lot of people don't realize this about me, but I still work a full-time job because I choose to. So when you're like, at what point did you realize this could be a career? Um, you know, a long time ago, but I still choose to do other things. I've been a Connecticut State EMT for about 20 years, and I work for a
Awesome.
corporate security company as a trainer. And that's where the online content kind of comes, because I'm a natural born educator. So just everything just kind of married perfectly, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of online educator, online presence, I mean, that was my main question to you. So how does a DJ, like literally the way you're doing it, take themselves, let's say zero following, and just literally brand themselves the way you do, to a point where like literally you're recognizable on Facebook, YouTube, Mixcloud, I mean, all types of platforms. Like, how does a DJ just take themselves from like literally zero and just really brand themselves to literally be, I view you as an online sensation. I know you probably don't, but like I look at all your posts, like even the engagement, I'm like, it's crazy. I love it. So
Thank
how's
you.
a DJ do that?
So there's going to be a two-part answer to this. The first part answer is, honestly, just make stuff without looking or thinking about numbers, right? You're not just going to start. I mean, I'm not, it's different now than when I started because of TikTok and Reels, and things can go instantly viral, and there is a potential for that. There's a lot of potential for that. But for your own just like motivation and mental wellness and stuff, you can't go into this, posting something, and if it only got 200 views, you give up and you're like, oh, nobody gives a crap. And then, you become unmotivated and you stop making content. Like, this has been a rubber to the road grind. I'm going to say the online thing for probably about 6 years now. And now I'm just
Okay.
starting to see the fruits of my labor. This wasn't an overnight, sensation kind of a thing. There were a lot of things that failed and didn't do well. There are a lot of things that I put a lot of effort into. And it's like, wow, like 20 people watch this, or like you got to keep grinding. You're not going to have instant overnight success. But I think the biggest thing for me is give without expecting anything in return, right? Like, it started out with me doing a gear review video. I bought this Magma DJ XL backpack because I just had gotten a Denon MK2 controller, and I wanted a
Yeah.
backpack that I could just like rock into a club strapped to my back without a bunch of crap to carry. And I just did like a little Facebook review on it, like showing people the pockets and what I have in it, and it like blew up. And
Mm.
I DJ Now, which is an online, retailer,
Yep.
they saw like this review and they're like, "Hey, we thought you did a really good job. Would you be cool partnering with us? If we send you things, you do your review on it, and then if you want to buy it, we'll give it to you at like, a 20% discount for like your effort. And if you don't like it, tell us or send it back or, whatever. Like there's no expectation here." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Right.
So just by putting that little Easter egg out there, not expecting anything in return, like I wasn't looking for free stuff. I wasn't looking for, um, sponsorship. Like I literally just wanted to help people out. Like, hey, this is a dope bag. Check it out. And just by giving without expecting, good things happen from that. And I don't know how else to like put it into words, but I just gave and gave and gave. And then people were like, wow, like she's pretty dope, or she's really smart, or she's really kind. Um, the other part of the online content was, honestly, I'd be lying if I said that everything was rainbows and unicorns. But there's a lot of mean people out there. There's a lot of haters. There's a lot of deniers.
Yes.
There's been a lot of really disrespectful people that I've encountered, and I got tired of explaining myself. I got tired of trying to prove who I was. So it's like, yo, I'm going to strip back the curtain. You can follow me on my events. You can follow me what I do. Either you love me or you hate me, but I'm going to show you I'm the one setting this up. I'm the one rocking the decks. I'm the one
Yep.
emceeing this thing. I'm the one like this hustle. This is me. This isn't some facade. I don't have like some like phantom crew behind me making all the magic happen. Like this is me. And then if you still want to like whatever, then that's on you. But it was to kind of combat the bullies. I got tired of that. And I just wanted to like, show people that I was competent and capable. I don't really talk about this much, and I don't go into like the female DJ thing because
Well,
DJs are DJs. If you're dope, you're dope. If you work hard, great things happen if people work hard. But I will say in the beginning, as a younger female, I had to work really hard to prove that I was capable because there was a lot of doubt and stigma. Even something as simple like, can you even lift your own stuff? They didn't want someone who wasn't able, to push things up ramps and stuff. So that's why I worked really hard with the social media content just to be like, yo, like, I got this. Like, you're hiring a pro. Like, I got this. And again, here we are. So sorry, that was a long ramble.
no, 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 that's all good. And yeah, no, I mean, I got to give you your props because now I got to let everybody know this. I sent you a message about a wireless microphone system, and you came through. And the reason why I felt comfortable asking you, because I've asked people on several platforms about gear and things they have purchased, and yeah, the remarks are just so nasty. And like, I feel like you take the ego, like I never met you in person, but I can just tell. Even like, it's so crazy. I mean, like even like the way you post your videos, I could tell like you're super humble, you're super chill. You're giving information out. There's no like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Like it's none of that. And I feel like a lot of DJs just have this like ego about them that, oh, I'm a DJ. I do this, I do that, and it's like, relax. We're all in a great space. Like we're getting to play music that we love. Like I don't know. I mean, who could ask for a better job? So no, I really appreciate you, and you are definitely the real definition of a DJ. Definitely a real
Thank you,
definition
man.
of a DJ.
I appreciate that. And then, this I don't mean this to sound like egotistical at all, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? Words of
Absolutely.
Spider-Man. And I know that I have now kind of a platform where I have like a lot of younger girls that, I receive messages probably a couple times a month. And I'm not just talking from US. I'm talking, literally globally of like, hey, my dad told me to check you out, or, I found you doing this or that or whatever. And I want younger talent, boys and girls, but, especially younger girls to know, like, hey, you can do this. You got this. You can do it on your own. And music is a very, special connection. And if you
Mhm.
can get involved in that and find that joy to entertain and be there for like the best moments of people's lives, like do it. And I'm aware that I have a little bit more visibility now, so I'm very mindful about what I put out there, and I want people to be kind and helpful and genuine, and just work hard. And that's what it's about. I'm going to be grassroots through and through. That's it. I do this because I want to, not because I have to. Hence the full-time job. Like every event I do is because I wanted to be there, not because I had to pay a cell phone bill, you know?
Right. No,
So
and that's a beautiful thing too. Doing events that you want to do, not for the money grab or the money bag, or that's I love that. And
yeah,
speaking
absolutely.
yeah, and speaking on education, talk to me about the DJ Expo. I saw that you led a female-led panel, and talk to me about that. How was that experience, and how did that come about?
Wow. Wow. So you do follow me closely, man. Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
appreciate
serious.
that. It's like,
I really love what you're doing, and I feel like unfortunately, I was naive when I started DJing in 2007, and I thought like the DJ, everybody's nice and friendly, and that's just the type of person I am. And yeah, man, I got like a rude awakening, and even being in some of those groups, like no, it's not like that.
no, it's not. But you know what though? I'm a big believer in the ripple effect and what you put out, and just hopefully people like us, we can shift that. And having
Absolutely,
these great conversations and sharing your platform, or me on your platform, me sharing you on my platform, and just like getting that message out. Like, listen, we don't have to be competition. There's enough work for
absolutely,
everybody.
right.
There's enough work for everybody. So the expo. So pardon my ignorance, but have you been
No,
before?
that last
Oh,
this past
dude.
year, yeah, I know. I'm slipping every time. I'm not like DJing every single day, but like typically, like yeah, I don't know. My schedule is crazy, and then I was working in radio at the time for years, so it's like I could never get the time off to go. But next year, I don't care what's going on, I will be present. Like I will be
You
present.
have to, man. You got to make time to set some time to develop yourself, and even just networking opportunities. I mean, the expo, or really any of these conferences, they're what you make of it, right? If you just want to go
Absolutely.
and get drunk and party, then, or just gamble, like, you can. If you want to attend every seminar and be an absolute like bookworm, you can do that. If you want to make it about the people or the food or the education, it's you're only going to get out as much as you put in. 110% with any of these things. So, but I definitely recommend finding at least one conference a year to make it to. I've been to them like pretty much all over the country. I went out to it used to be called Mobile Beat, which
Okay,
is
it's
out in
Vegas,
Vegas.
right?
Now it's called Mex, because they combined DJ and photo booth.
Okay.
They kind of rebranded the show, so that's a dope show. DJ Expo is one of the biggest ones in the country, so definitely make that a priority. There's Marquee Show out in Chicago. There's the DJ Collective that bounces. I mean, there's so many opportunities to um to do this. So make some time to invest in yourself, and your first slice will be on me. Well, if we link up,
Oh,
I got your
absolutely.
first slice.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So 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 it's crazy. So the last expo, I just wanted to go and just chill. Like
Okay.
I didn't want to present. One year I was a keynote speaker with Nick Spinelli. We did a thing on
Yep.
social media marketing. Um Sometimes I help like vendors work booths, or whatever. I just wanted to go and just be with the people and chill. But it didn't turn out that way, because I had people kind of call me like, "Hey, you want to do this? You want to do this? You want to do this?" And one of those was that all female um panel that was a tremendous experience. Now, I did give the show a little feedback on that, and I'm gonna keep it real here.
Oh,
They're
yes,
kind of revisiting the format here, but I didn't really like the fact that it was a segregated space, right? We actually had a lot of men showing up at the door that wanted to be a part of the conversation. They wanted to be a part of the environment, even if they just sat in the back of the room, kind of like a fly on the wall, just like absorbing the conversation. They showed up to support, and they were turned away at the door,
mm,
and I didn't like that. If we're trying to make it about community and a shared experience, and break down those walls of gender and bias, and at the end of the day, dope DJs are dope DJs. I didn't feel that that was the best way to communicate that. So we had great conversations on the inside, and their explanation to me was they wanted to make it a welcoming, safe space for women to say what they wanted to say. But my opinion was like, I get that, but if you're at a national conference and people want to participate, you don't want to create echo chambers. I don't need to hear other females about how hard it is. I know how hard it is. I live it every
Yes.
weekend. I want people to hear what we go through and hear how they can support and how we can be just again kinder, better community. So that's my honest answer. So I was tremendously flattered to have been a part of it. I just hope next year they revisit it and we can kind of come together again as a community rather than a segregated space.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying the content you're watching right now and you want to learn how to level up at all your events and create vibes, well, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. You're a virtual DJ user. Now,
Yes.
what's your beef with Serato? Like, I need to know this.
Honestly, the users.
So is
I
it
don't.
kind of like the Mac and the Windows PC thing? You know how people will say, "Oh, my Mac is so much better than my Windows laptop," when it's like, I don't know. To me, I mean, I use both. I think it's just more of a preference. I will never sit here and say, "Oh yeah, MacBook's totally better." I I
Oh
don't
man,
truly
I've
believe
gotten so
that.
much crap over my career for using virtual DJ. I've even literally lost like club and bar gigs because it
Yeah,
didn't fit the brand. And
that's
it's
crazy.
all good, man. I will say I feel that the playing field is a lot more leveled out now. Virtual DJ did need some work, it was really ugly. I'm not gonna lie. Their marketing was pretty poor, but
Yeah.
to date, you will not find a more feature packed, innovative software. They're always first to the game, and they always will be because they spend their money on development rather than marketing and being the cool kids at the lunch table. And I'm okay with that. I feel like now, though, most software is at a point where, like you said, it's a preference, man. Play is play, cue is cue, hot cues are hot cues, loops are loops. Now everything has stems, like they finally caught up with the
Nope.
stems, so things are it's a level playing field now. So just pick your weapon of choice, man, because at the end of the day, software doesn't make dope dance floors. Dope DJs make dope dance floors. So honestly, I'm at a point in my career, I'm done justifying myself and arguing. I have so many other more important things to do. Like, if you want to hate on virtual, then go ahead. But I'm going to show up on Saturday, collect my paycheck, rock my floor,
Right.
and keep it moving. So I don't know. Honestly, I feel like it's a level playing field now. So if anybody new coming in was like, yo, what do I do? I'm going to say, listen, they both offer light free versions. Go home and check them out.
Right.
Like, find out for yourself.
See
So,
which one you like better. No, absolutely.
right.
Absolutely. And I see you mixing it up weekly, Dash Radio. I love that. Now
Dude,
talk.
I'm so impressed. You've done your homework. I'm so impressed by you. Thank
I
you
mean,
so much.
who wouldn't? Honestly, even if I wasn't interviewing you, you're the perfect person to like say if someone's like, yo, I really need to like level up, get better. Yo, like they need to tune into you because you're doing it all. Like I feel like you should come out with an ebook. Like seriously, like steps to show people how to level up DJing. Like seriously, seriously.
And dude, so another thing I will say about this is I can't share my screen on my phone, but dude, the time. If I showed you my phone usage, you know how, like, I don't know if you have iPhone or not, but
Yeah,
they give
yeah.
you like how long you're on your apps and
Yep.
how many messages you receive. Dude, I'm embarrassed to give you those numbers. Like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't like live, breathe, and die by this. So like it's embarrassing. Like, my average number hours of on my phone of between like working, emails, making videos, everything is like between like 12 and 15 hours a day. And if you don't believe me, I will send you screenshots.
No, no,
Like,
no. I believe you.
it's
I'm
it's
seeing all the videos. Like I actually like I follow your page, but yeah, I get your posts. Like they pop up. I'm paying attention. So I know you're. I'm
I
like,
see that.
and even like when we had messaged. I'm like, when you said work, I'm like, are you working in radio or are you working like a full-time, like how the hell do you have time? I was thinking to myself, like, is this like a regular, like full-time 9 to 5 job, 40 hours a week? Like how's, like you're doing it all. Like, do you sleep?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
no.
I know I don't. I don't. No, it's that, like I said, team no sleep here. But I love it. And um that cliche saying, it's not work if you love what you're doing. I don't agree
Yes.
with that. There's a lot of work that goes into it. But when it's passion, it's time that you don't mind spending, you know? Or what is it? If you love your job, you never work a day in your life. I call shenanigans. There's a lot of work that goes on here, and I love what I do. So you don't mind doing that. Like that Electro Voice video on the Everse I just did. That was 22 hours of recording and editing and
Ah,
researching, um,
okay.
going back and forth with the manufacturer, because I had questions, and I feel again a responsibility that if I'm going to ask people to watch, it's got to be accurate. I have to know what I'm talking about. So yeah, people, they see a 15-minute video and think, all right, maybe it took an hour. Like, no, that's like 4 days worth
Hmm.
of things. There's a lot of time that goes into it. So yeah,
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
yeah.
So talk to me about this location, 191 and Uccello Street, Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, the Russian lady.
Yes, yes. Talk to me about that venue.
All right, so number one, I have to tell you, I am not the Russian lady.
Okay.
Okay, I cannot tell you how many times people thought that was like a nickname
For
for
you.
myself. Like, yeah, come down to the Russian lady. Like, no, that is the name of the venue. It's called the Russian Lady. I am not the Russian lady. Um, they are now calling themselves, I believe, the Ukrainian lady. They put like a
Okay.
banner up over it, just because of everything that's going on with that. Um, dude, I've been DJing at this nightclub. It's a actually they had two of them. They have two in the state of Connecticut. One has changed ownership and names. I'm still in the OG one in Hartford, Connecticut. It's 3 floors, so three different DJs, and they have a rooftop, which is super dope in the summer. Um, it's one of the last kind of standalone standing nightclubs. A lot of nightlife is dried up in Connecticut, man.
Mm.
And there is some premium spots, and we got casinos out here. We got Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods, which are like huge casinos, and a lot of great nightlife inside there. But now a lot of nightlife is just kind of bars that move tables off the floor, and have a DJ come in. They're not like that traditional nightlife nightclub feel that we're used to from like the early
Yep.
2000s and stuff. And I've been DJing for them for almost a decade now, and that
Ooh.
makes me feel hella old. And every year everyone looks younger and younger, and I'm just getting older and chubbier and older and older.
Oh my God.
um yeah, I'm now the person that's watching the girls in the UGG boots with the skirts on outside, judging them. When I
Judge
used to be the girl in the UGG boots with the mini skirt on, trying to bother the DJ to hold my jacket. I was one of those,
it.
and then I just became the DJ. So,
Oh.
it's a dope venue, college crowd,
Okay.
and they try to keep the bottom floor, which is my floor. It's like the pregame floor. People come in there, they get their wristbands, all you can drink. It's very open
Mm.
format. You can do anything from alternative rock to Britney Spears, like whatever you want. Then they have like a lounge that's kind of more of like a house vibe, and then the club is just all out, hip hop, club music. So they give everybody a little something, and I think that's dope. So yeah, it's a cool spot.
That's dope. And speaking about a little something, talking about open format DJing, talk to me about the benefits of being an open format DJ.
Oh man, so it opens up so many more doors, and I've just done so many cool things by being able to play a little bit of everything. Now, I will admit, I really respect these secular format DJs that like, they know Chicago house, like their own, you know, social security number. You know what I mean? They know it front, backwards, inside and out, kind of a thing. So there's something to be said for being a master of your craft with that when you have like a secular genre, if you're a tech house DJ or a this or that. But if you unless you kind of find that one in a million niche where you could really make a killing with that, if you want to be where the money's at, man, you got to be flexible with your music. Now, could I do 8 hours of freestyle? Probably not, but I could definitely drop a 3 to 4 hour bang instead of a freestyle if I had to, But I have an inquiry for a Britney Spears themed birthday party. I'm
Oh,
gonna
nice.
rock the crap out of that. I just did an '80s party, the other day. So I did, a 4 hour set of '80s. I actually posted the mixes on my Mixcloud if anybody wants to check those out. So being able to bounce around like that, it just gives you so many more opportunities to make money and connections. Otherwise, you kind of pigeonhole yourself,
Yep.
which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're good enough to make a killing in that arena. But the odds of making it big, being like kind of a one style, DJ, you're kind of limiting your options and opportunity there. So open format, being able to play a little bit of everything really well, in my opinion, is what everyone should strive to be able to do. So
Absolutely, it's golden. I think it's key to elevating, DJing.
and there's so much great music out there. Like I don't know how you could
Right.
not be open format, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like there's just so much good stuff out there. Yeah. I mean, even being able to do that. I mean, I was able to open for George Clinton in Parliament Funkadelic, Gloria Gaynor, so disco, funk, like, imagine if I just was, like a dubstep DJ or something,
Right.
like I would have missed out on that. So, and I think it's important on social media to really showcase that. And that's why I think Mixcloud and things like that are so important. I have 90s mixes, 80s mixes, I have EDM mixes, I got mixes of my weddings. I want people to know that I'm versatile. So like if you book me, I'll be able to do what you need. So very important with that.
Absolutely. Let's play a quick game called This or That. DJ Rachel
Oh
D, are you
God.
ready to play?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. You got to give up pizza for life or give up DJing for life. Which one are you choosing?
Oh, come on, man. All right, so just out of survival, I'm gonna have to give up DJing because
Okay.
I'm the worst cook in America, and if I didn't have pizza, I'd probably be dead.
It's over for you.
I'm not joking. When we're off the phone, I'm calling my spot. I'm gonna pick up a large, and that's gonna feed me for the next 3 days.
She's not joking, ladies and gents.
I'm not joking. Um, yeah, I'm going with pizza.
Pizza it is. Halloween or Valentine's Day?
Oh my God, Halloween. If you saw
Okay.
my last post where I posted my room changeover from Halloween to Christmas, go check that out. I am
I'm
like
gonna check that
all
out.
out Halloween. I
All
am
out.
all out Halloween.
Okay. Nightlife DJing or wedding DJing?
Interesting question. I'm going with weddings.
Okay.
I'm going with weddings.
All right. So if the music gods could get rid of one song, Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, or Tone Loc, Wild Thing, which one are we getting?
Wild thing.
Okay.
Wild thing.
Okay.
Those are oddly specific. Why those two songs?
I actually like those two songs, and typically sometimes I'll play them like back to back, and I feel like those two songs, like I don't know, I don't, for certain like groups and crowds, I feel like I will always play those two songs, like I just always will.
Dude, I got a hot mashup of Uptown Funk into Ice Ice Baby when it
Okay.
goes, don't believe me, just watch. And then it's like, and then it goes right into, all right, stop. And I just like, it is perfect. I'm telling you, it pops off every time
I'm gonna download
on the
that.
dance floor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get rid of Tone Lock because that's a hot mix. That's a
Gotta
fire
get rid
mix,
of
and
it.
I'm not, I can't give that one up. So
Hey, I think that's a good choice. All right, DJ Rachel Lynch. That was the game, This or That. See, it wasn't that bad.
no, except the pizza question, man. That one was that was hard.
I know that was gonna be tough. I mean, you're I see you all the time. Pizza, 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 pizza. I'm like, you gotta be like
Yeah,
an
I'd
ambassador or
be
something.
dead.
Seriously.
I'd be dead without it. I mean, it's probably gonna kill me in the long run because carbohydrates and
Yep.
cholesterol and but I am the worst cook in America.
Yeah.
Hand to God. So
Oh, that's not good. Us as DJs, we gotta eat healthy. Our health is everything, for us to stay out there longer, keep doing our thing, stay on our feet. We gotta, get the right nutrition. So we gotta eat
it
better.
is. Listen, I drink water and lift
All
with
right.
my knees.
That's a
And
good
I take a multivitamin every day. That's about the
okay.
best. Oh, and I don't smoke. That's about the best as you're gonna get from me.
All right, no, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you see the vision going?
That's an interesting question because I get asked that all the time, but because I've always really just been kind of a go with the flow, I'm just seizing any opportunity that dropped at my feet. I say yes. And that's also been kind of another like secret sauce of mine. You got to stop, with the fear and the self doubt. Like if someone comes with you with something and you have an opportunity, just take it.
Mm,
Just say yes. So, I guess a goal of mine is I would love to be on Pitbull's Globalization. I know that's
okay.
kinda, like,
Yes.
lame, but,
No.
I would love to add that to, like, my mix show repertoire. So I guess that's a goal, but in 5 years, I don't know, hopefully alive, um, like, still working, I don't know. I don't have, like, an end game. I'm just literally taking life as it comes, any opportunities that come in, and if business grows, great. If people stop liking DJ Rachel, okay, I'll figure something else out. Like, I don't know. I don't have an articulate vision to like to give you, I guess.
Okay. No, that's understandable. Taking every day day by day. So
That is it, man. With some of the things, I've been through and things like that, that's all you can do. That's all you can do in life nowadays. So, just one day at a time, one opportunity at a time, and just appreciate everything that God and life puts in front of you, man. So that's how I
absolutely.
roll.
And one thing you said earlier in the interview that stuck out to me. So you said like DJing kind of like just like fell into your lap. You never really planned on being a DJ. It just happened. So if you weren't a DJ, what would you be doing?
Wow, that's a great question. I'd probably be a lot unhappier. I do think
Mm,
that there's, you know, I'm not trying to take this all weird and like spiritual or anything, but I do feel that things happen for a reason, and I feel like I was meant to do this, regardless of how it started. Like there's a reason why that happened, and I who am I to question it? I have a lot of other hobbies and stuff. Like I love cars. I go to car shows all the time. I'm a good painter. I like painting. You know, um, I don't know. Maybe children. I have no idea, what my life would look like if I wasn't a DJ, but I'm not going to question destiny, man. Like I'm here doing
absolutely.
this because somebody wanted me to, like, because I don't know. Here we are, man. I don't know. It's too great to ignore.
Mm,
I don't this isn't an accident to me. Us connecting isn't an accident. Like things happen, people
absolutely.
come into your life for a reason. Again, I'm not trying to get all like heavy and weird with this conversation, but this was supposed to happen, I guess.
No,
So again, I don't
absolutely.
have I don't have an articulate answer or a plan.
Now, is DJing therapeutic for you? Do you find therapy in DJing?
Oh, yes. You have no idea. So my day job, right? My day job is grounded in security and emergencies, right? So, I'll teach an active shooter class on a Wednesday afternoon talking about, what to do if somebody's coming in a room trying to kill you, literally. And then on Saturday, I'm watching, the most beautiful moment between a couple or a special moment with a bride and her father or whatever it is, and it's a good yin and yang. I need to see good in people because my Monday through Friday is filled with serious topics and badness and what to do when people are evil and like bad things. So it keeps my faith in humanity, so
Mm.
to speak. Yes, no, it's very therapeutic. Now, I'm not going to say it's not stressful. Like weddings are stressful. There's a ton of
Yes.
responsibility with that. There's a ton of planning. Um, and it's a great responsibility. So I get stressed out. Like I'd be lying if I tell you I wasn't. So at during the event, is it like therapy per se? No, because I'm in work mode. But when you come home the next day and you're watching either the gig log footage you took or the pictures, or you get like the couple that says, "Hey man, I just want to let you know, thank you for rocking our dance floor and you were the best decision we made that day." Like what that does for the soul, I can't even tell you. And some of these clients are my friends, like we still keep in touch. So they've benefited in my life that way. Like they're just really great people. So DJing has just brought so much joy. So the short answer is yes. And you just got the long answer why.
No, no, awesome, awesome. So after a challenging gig or just a weekend of DJing, how do you decompress? How do you relax? How do you move forward to the next event? What goes into that?
I don't get to do that much, to be honest with you, man, because if it's not one thing, it's another. But
Mm.
for some of my like pastimes, I guess to just kind of clear the air, clear the palate. Like I said, I enjoy painting. Um, I love roller coasters, so I will hit up theme parks like a fiend whenever I can. I take my Subi out for a cruise and I just listen to music I want to listen to, which I don't really get to do all that much. So like my car is like my sacred space. I am turning it up. I have a ridiculous stereo in every one of my vehicles, except this one. This is my work truck.
Okay.
My DJ vehicle. Believe it or not, you'd think that I'd have a great stereo in here, but it's just a pickup, so there's no really room for it. But no, just vibing out. I will drive an hour listening to music and just go grab a slice of my favorite pie, and I will sit in a parking lot and I'll just sit on the sidewalk and eat it. Man, you just find these little moments to give to yourself. But I honestly, I'm embarrassed to say this. I haven't had a legitimate vacation in probably a decade. And I'm not even joking about
Mm.
that. And
Wow.
come 2023, that's changing. I had like a moment this year. I was like, you know what? Just how you said you have to block out a moment for the expo, like I need a vacation, not like a weekend trip or a long weekend. Like I need to just be out, you
Yes.
know?
Live life. Say
Live
it,
I
networking.
it's
Yes.
yes, it is time to live life. I need a vacation and I think I've earned it.
Absolutely. And you always gotta take those vacations. You gotta, get refreshed, take some time away, let the brain relax a little bit, very important.
It's hard, man, to block because when you block off weekends, you tell yourself, like if somebody and then you kick yourself. So if you block off a 2 week period or week period and then someone calls like, "Hey, we're getting married on this date." And you're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm going to Hawaii, but I could have made X amount."
Yeah.
Like it hurts.
Yeah.
And when you get in that grind, it's hard to separate that, but you have to, because if you aren't at your best, you can't be at your best for them. And if you're grumpy and you're burnt out, I promised myself I would not do this anymore. If I ever, was getting ready for a gig and was like, wow, like I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing
Mhm.
this. It's time to hang it up. It's time to hang it
Absolutely.
up. So that's why I don't do it full time, because I know if I had to do it, I wouldn't want to do it. So right now I take as much or as little work as I need, and it keeps me fresh, and happy. And I turn down a lot of work sometimes. Like I don't know if it's like a stereotype, but I get contacted a lot for like children's and youth events.
Okay.
And that's not my passion. That is not my niche. I don't want to DJ a 6-year-old's, Paw Patrol party. If 6-year-olds are even watching Paw Patrol, probably not. I don't know. I know nothing about like kids, but that's just not my niche. So like I pass it off to other colleagues that I know that are passionate and can do 100 times better job than I can. Now, could I show up with Kids Bop and just let it play and collect a paycheck? Yeah.
Nope.
But so that's what I'm saying. Like if my heart's not in it, I'm not gonna do it. Um so my cutoff is like prom, sweet 16s, quinceaneras, and
Mm.
up. I'll do that, but I'm not bringing out like my dope JMAS movers and Ape Labs uplights for a 3-year-old. Cinderella party. It's just
Yeah.
it's not
No, I
it's not
respect
my
that.
thing. It's not my thing.
I respect that. I mean, sometimes you gotta turn it down. You can't all gigs are not great gigs, and all money is not great money too as well. Everything is you don't have to do
Absolutely.
everything. So
I
what?
have learned that over the years. Not all money is good money. That is
Yes.
probably one of you need to put that if you do any quotes or texts in these, you need to put that like in a quote right there. I think
Oh, for
that's
sure.
like a huge takeaway, man. Not all money is good money. And that comes with, staying in your lane, knowing what you want to do, what you're good at. And I'm not saying don't hustle, branch out and try new things, but like I know deep in my heart, my passion is not kids events. So
Yep.
I'm not gonna do that work. Now I've done a solid for a friend or two, don't get me wrong, but as much as the inquiries come in, I definitely give a lot of work out. That is that is for sure.
Much respected. Now, how can people find you? How can they stay up to date with DJ Rachel Lynch? How can they find you?
Oh my god, everywhere, man. Um, so pretty much everything is literally at DJ Rachel Lynch. That's my IG handle.
Um,
Same thing on Mixcloud, YouTube at DJ Rachel Lynch. So if you go to my IG, I have a link tree that literally links you to all of my stuff. Like I am everywhere, as you know. So just at DJ Rachel Lynch. If you want to email me, anybody wants to chat, talk gear, talk shop, whatever, it's DJ Rachel at me.com. I always answer, right? I get back to people. So if you
yes.
want to get a hold of me, just hit me up anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another episode of We Create the Vibes podcast. Today's special guest was DJ Rachel Lynch. Ladies and gentlemen, she gave you the links on how to stay connected with her. And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in.